Hey guys, what is up? My name is Tom Spark and welcome back to another VPN review. Today we're taking out StrongVPN. Now StrongVPN is a VPN that got bought out by J2 Global, and it's always kind of being associated kind of within the same kind of company ownership as IPVanish. So today we're going to be checking out StrongVPN, helping you decide if it's worth using or not. Of course, I'm also going to be updating IPVanish's review score as well into accordance with this one. Anyways guys, today let's go ahead and check out StrongVPN. So StrongVPN is $70 for 12 months and 1 month is $10. I think if anything, StrongVPN should have a little bit more options. I do like how they're not pushing long-term commitments like 3 or 2 year plans. However, we don't even have 6 months, 3 months, or anything like that. It's either just 1 month for $10 or 1 year for $70. Now, one interesting thing about StrongVPN is that it does come with SugarSync Secure Storage, which is another company under the J2 Global brand. So they're just kind of packaging it in there for a little something extra, I suppose. It doesn't say how many simultaneous connections we get on this page. And actually, guys, I do wish that there was a little bit more information here about what is included within the VPN when you're actually buying it. You can find that information on the main page, however, if you just navigate backwards, and you can see 12 simultaneous connections, which is actually very good, and it's something I think they should put near to the pricing page because that is something kind of to brag about. That's more simultaneous connections than most every other VPN provider, which is very nice, and this all looks to be pretty standard. But anyways guys, let's go ahead and look at the pricing, see what kind of payment options we have. Because when I was looking at it, I do not So I tried it in a couple different browsers, and it looks like right now for some reason StrongVPN is not letting me look at the orders. It could be due to having some kind of campaign or something like that. I'm not sure what's going on with the website. It was working yesterday. I'm gonna have to see if any of my users in my Discord channel are having problems with this as well. So guys, here is IPVanish's, not IPVanish. So guys, here's StrongVPN's application. It's not bad in terms of usability and interface. I actually like it in terms of that. However, it doesn't really do that good in the application analysis. It's really lacking a lot of kind of power / customization features. Stuff like split tunneling would be nice. Proxy support, the ability to change your DNS or your port. Even adds stuff like ability to configure while live use. As you can see here, you can't really switch servers while you're connected. You have to first disconnect and then switch around. We don't really see any informations on the servers. You can't really favorite them. You can't really see the ping or information about them. Overall, it's just a very basic application. If you look at the settings, you can see kind of what I'm talking about. We do have a good amount of protocol options, actually very nice. IPv2 WireGuard supported, as you can see here in the table. And we do have the kill switch, which is important, of course. But besides that, it's a little bit bare bones. So it's not going to get a ton of points here, but overall, I think it's a decent kind of starter application. Just for being around so long, I would have expected a little bit more in terms of some of these features. I also think IPVanish will probably do a little bit better here when I do update that on the tier list as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a full-fledged re-review of IPVanish since it's so similar to StrongVPN in a lot of aspects, so I might just like update it and once I fill out some of these things on the table for that one. Additionally, I did manage to get around that bug. For some reason, turning the VPN on seemed to help it, so I'm not sure if StrongVPN is kind of collecting IPs and making sure they don't buy it twice. Something a little weird going on there, I'm not really sure. But I did want to talk about how StrongVPN does have limited payment options. You can't use Bitcoin or gift cards. It's a little bit lacking in the anonymous payment selection, which is a little too bad. I would have liked to see more options there. So I did recently change internet service providers, and my rates are going to be a little bit different than before. So I just want to clarify that up front. I'm going to be getting around the same download rates as before without VPN on. I get around a gig. My ping is around maybe 2 or 3 without VPN on, and then upload is going to be somewhere around maybe 500, I think, around that range. From my experience, upload doesn't get too affected by VPN for some reason, but of course we do see a lot of affected nature in the download rate. However, speed tests aren't the best indication, of course, and I was doing some tests yesterday of StrongVPN and got similar results on the speed test. I think my upload rate might be closer to this. It's kind of hard to remember checking the upload rate as much, so this seems to be pretty good. But we do want to test it out with torrenting, see what kind of speeds we can get there, because that's where I really saw StrongVPN shine, which is kind of to be expected since we're using WireGuard. So we're connected to the same server testing out WireGuard with StrongVPN. Most people are going to be using WireGuard, I think, as the main protocol nowadays. It's getting more secure and more trusted, and I can expect to see very good speeds here. We brought up back the speed kind of graph here to show you kind of indication of where we're going to be going. Yesterday, I was getting around 30 to 40 megabytes a second down here. It's not going quite there yet, but it does look like it's climbing now. There we go. And as expected, most of the VPNs that have WireGuard now are testing pretty fast. I'm not sure, if OpenVPN was kind of holding them back in any way, but at the same time, IPVanish, the same kind of company behind these servers and stuff like that, StackPath, you saw it in the speed test right there. Throughout my career testing VPNs, so they've always been pretty fast. Now with WireGuard, we're saying 50 right there. That's very impressive. So some of these bigger companies that are starting to roll out WireGuard, I'm expecting kind of a normalization in speeds. This right now is beating pretty much every other single VPN ever that had OpenVPN download rates. So we're just going to be expecting better and better speeds, which is really awesome. But it's good to see StrongVPN implementing WireGuard, and we'll have to see, how IPVanish will also kind of compare to some of these speeds as well, on the tier list. So what about StrongVPN's reputation, their logging policy? Well, they don't really seem to collect any logs, but that's a little bit tricky to trust because StrongVPN is owned by J2 Global. IPVanish is kind of under the same company. Now, IPVanish has kind of had a weird company history in that it's kind of been changed hands so many times. The company that first originally owned it did leak logs for someone who was a criminal, and they got investigated. The second company who owned it said, that was the former company. They never collected logs, and then it was sold again to J2 Global. So it just kind of leaves everyone kind of questioning, do these services collect logs? What do the owners really want to do with this service? There hasn't really been that many indications yet of logs being collected or anything bad happening. Of course, these kind of things aren't really, they're not really super important for people just day to day. If you're just torrenting and stuff like that, it's never going to be a problem. But, we don't want to really settle for a VPN that does collect logs in any indication, because there are VPNs that have never gotten in trouble. So it's hard to really recommend this privacy policy or this kind of reputation of these kind of companies together as something that's perfect when they've had a past of giving away logs. It's something you can't really get away from, in my opinion. So I can't give them a perfect reputation score for those reasons, because they're the same company. Not only that, but I think J2 Global is kind of a monopolized corporate media machine. There has been some kind of criticism of IGN this year, another company under the same parent company. So I don't really think J2 Global itself really is the best company to be kind of like the owner of these VPN providers. It just kind of looks like to me they're kind of scooping up these products because they're going to make them a lot of money. You can see IGN even making VPN reviews, which is ironic because they own VPNs. It's a huge conflict of interest in my opinion, but that's pretty much my thoughts on that. Now, I took a look at StrongVPN and saw how it worked with streaming services. Surprisingly, it actually did pretty well. It worked with Netflix unblocking geo restrictions, which means you can watch geo unlocked content. So if you're in Japan and you want to watch the USA version of Netflix, you can watch USA specific content. Or if you're in some other countries, you could kind of jump around there and get extra content that you might not be able to with other VPN providers. Not only that, it also worked with Hulu and Prime Video as well, which is very nice. However, I couldn't get 5 out of 5 because I couldn't get it working with Prime Video, which is unfortunate. But still, 3 out of 4 is not bad for a streaming VPN provider, especially with something like this, where you don't even have to really configure anything or add any IPs or anything like that. It pretty much just works out of the box, which is really nice. So while we are in the midst of the pandemic, it is interesting to see that IPVanish I keep calling it IPVanish, StrongVPN still does have live chat. It looks like I'm talking to Hilda right now, so let's see how this goes. I'm gonna try to get a refund just to, make it so it's not so expensive to run this channel, always buying these VPNs. We'll see how, much they want to give me a refund and, how they are about it. I said, hello, I would like to request a refund. The application does not have everything I would require that I was hoping for. Please, can you help me with this? Guys, if you're talking to customer support, always try to be courteous and nice. At the end of the day, it's just another human on the other end of the line. Well, I guess unless you're using OneScribe. So Hilda's gonna check my account right now. Thanks, Hilda. So Hilda wanted to know the specific feature that was making me cancel StrongVPN so much. Bullet tunnel, I guess? I don't know. So it's a little bit annoying because Hilda was telling that in order to get a cancellation, I actually have to submit a request at a specific link, which is kind of annoying because I just kind of wasted like 5 minutes talking to her. But just to kind of make it worth my time, I decided to throw a curveball for Hilda. I said, Hilda, what do you think is better, IPVanish or StrongVPN? Says we don't know what other brands can offer, so we can't compare. I said, even if it's owned by the same company? So Hilda tried to play it cool and says, yes, we don't know what details they offer, even though they're owned by the same company. Fair enough, Hilda. But it was kind of a fun question to ask, I think. So guys, overall, what do I think of StrongVPN? Well, I think it does pretty good in some areas. In some areas, it's a little lacking. I think the pricing system could be expanded. There could be more options for different payment plans. Certain plans could definitely be reduced. $10 a month is a little bit on the more standard pricing edge where it's not as attractive to most people. The 1 year plan is also a little bit pricey, you know, compared to some other options. Application, I think, needs a lot more customization and power features, although the main kind of package get things done, and it's nice to see new implementation of WireGuard, and it works really well with excellent speeds here. Very nice. Reputation overall, it's kind of a mixed bag. You know, this one and is just kind of lumped under the J2 Global band, even though there's not really been a history of logs per se with this specific brand element, but it's owned by the same company and it's been thrown around so many times it's hard to really keep track of, you know, if it's a good company or not. And then that being said, I also don't really like J2 Global and IGN and some of those partner brands. Support is pretty good. I did get live chat here, which is nice, especially during the pandemic era where live chat is not as common as it once used to be. Streaming did pretty well as well, having support for Netflix, Prime Video, and Hulu, but no support for BBC iPlayer. So overall, guys, the score is going to be a 3.54 out of 5, making it a tier 2 VPN provider. Honestly, the collected aggregate score here is a little bit higher than I thought. The application needing some work for sure, but other things aren't too bad, making it aggregately a decent VPN to try out, mostly because it has decent support, probably because it's a little bit smaller than some other options. Streaming isn't bad and it works just kind of automatically. Really good speeds here in implementation of WireGuard are pretty good to see. So this is going to be a pretty fine torrent VPN, good for torrenting. You know, it's going to lack some of those features and customizations of some of the other ones out there. But it could be a good product for someone who just kind of wants to try something different rather than someone like tier 1, more recommended VPN providers that kind of get more perfect scores that are cheaper as well. Anyways, guys, thanks for checking this one out. Let me know down in the comments down below which VPN review you want to see next, because I've kind of almost reviewed all of them. Anyways, guys, see you in the next one.